never co-sign on funding a police department that continues to brutalize us. And I will never stop saying, not only do we need to disinvest in police, but we need to completely dismantle the Minneapolis Police Department.
Hey, folks, you are not going to believe the level of hypocrisy we are seeing from the left on Law and Order. Jim Jordan just laid out the undeniable, brutal facts, and I am fired up. If you are a patriot who believes in safe streets, supporting our police, and holding radicals accountable, then hit that like button right now and subscribe to the channel, because the truth needs to be heard, and we are going to deliver it.
Probably shouldn't be surprised when you get more crime. When you enact dumb policies, imagine this, you get bad results. And think about what happened in the last year and a half in almost every major urban area. Baltimore cut their police department $22 million, Boston $12 million, Minneapolis cut theirs $8 million, New York City cut their police department $1 billion. Philadelphia, $33 million cut, Portland, $15 million cut, Seattle, $69 million, Chicago, $80 million, and on it goes. And guess what? In every single one of those urban areas, crime went up. Imagine that. Imagine that. Yeah, I don't know if we need any more imagination from Democrats. What we need is more cops on the street, not disparaging cops who bust their tail, put on the uniform, go protect our neighborhoods every night. Less imagination, more cops on the street, more prosecutors who will actually put bad guys in jail, and maybe just a stop to all the crazy policies. One of our colleagues introduced a bill, No Money Bail Act, just getting rid of it. But I don't think Democrats want to do the common sense thing. They want to do what that video just talked about. They want to defund the police. They've said it time and time again. Representative Jones, the department must be dismantled and policing reimagined. Representative Jayapal, we need to shift to significant resources from law enforcement to other places. Representative Omar, we need to completely dismantle the Minneapolis Police Department. Representative Bush, just 1 week ago, said we should, the same night that the president said they should fund the police, Representative Bush said, no, we should defund the police. And Chairman Nadler himself said just a year and a half ago, there should be substantial cuts to the police budget. That's what they've said. That makes no sense. The American people get it. All this reimagination from Democrats has been a disaster in every single policy area. Energy, crime, inflation, the border, you name it. Americans want safe streets, they want affordable gas, and they want freedom. Democrats have given us record crime, record inflation, and Dr. Fauci. So I hope today's hearing will allow the Judiciary Committee, in particular the Subcommittee on Crime, to begin to focus back in on common sense policies that work for the American families and the American people. That's what I hope is the result of this hearing. With that, Madam Chair, I yield back.
Gentleman yields back.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. I yield myself such time as I may consume.
Gentleman's recognized.
The chairman just said that the Democrats have always been, I think the direct quote was equitable funding for law enforcement. That's interesting because just 2 years ago, here's what the chairman said, June of 2020. There should be substantial cuts to police budgets. I don't know how you can always be for something and then just 2 years ago say, so I don't know how you can say you've always been for something and 2 years ago you said that you weren't. But that just seems what Democrats are up to today. Let's call this package of bills before us today exactly what it is. It's an election year ploy from Democrats to try to look like they care about funding law enforcement. In the wake of radical left-wing efforts to defund the police, it's no surprise that violent crime is on the rise in America. Every major urban area has seen a huge uptick in violent crime. It should also be no surprise that Democrats are now trying to run and hide from their radical ideas and dangerous rhetoric. For more than 2 years, we've seen violent crime surge all across the country, particularly in Democrat-run cities, while many of those same Democrats not only advocated for defunding police departments, but they did it. They cut them. Now the Democrats want to use federal tax dollars to paper over the problems they created in their local Democrat-run cities. But these bills do nothing to solve the underlying problem. They simply create more grant programs within the bureaucracy of the federal government. Under current law, there are already grants available to law enforcement to hire personnel. In fact, last year, the Justice Department awarded more than $139 million in grant dollars through the Office of Community-Oriented Policing Services. That money provided funds to 183 law enforcement agencies and allowed them to hire more than 1,000 additional officers. We don't need more federal grants, so Democrat-run cities can then divert taxpayer money to fund their woke agenda. What we need is prosecutors who are willing to prosecute crimes and jurisdictions with laws that actually keep violent criminals in prison. Nothing in these bills prevent jurisdictions that choose to defund their police from receiving these grant funds. In fact, when judiciary Republicans offered an amendment to preclude jurisdictions that defunded their police from receiving grant funds, the Democrats rejected it, and they rejected it unanimously. Faced with an election just over a month away, House Democrats now want to pretend they actually support law enforcement. The timing of this bill should tell you all you need to know about where Democrat priorities are. Democrats who are in full control of this body have had 2 years to show their support for law enforcement. Only now, when faced with an impending election, are Democrats beginning to feign support for our men and women in the blue. Democrats could have shown their support for law enforcement. Instead, Democrats pass bills to infringe on Americans' Second Amendment rights, legalize marijuana, further empower the Biden Justice Department to spy on concerned parents. These bills are just another admission by Democrats that the defund the police movement is wrong and irresponsible. Perhaps the Democrats weren't in a cleanup mode after their irresponsible embrace of defund the police rhetoric. The Judiciary Committee could have had an opportunity to consider and improve most of these bills before they came to the floor. But we didn't. And instead, Democrats are rushing to consider these bills to give themselves some pretense that they support funding the police. No one's fooled. Americans know where Democrats really stand. Americans aren't buying the Democrats' revisionist history. They've seen years of Democrats embracing and supporting the radical defund the police movement. Americans know that the Democrats are the party of soaring crime and defunding the police. I urge opposition and reserve the balance of our time.
Gentleman from Ohio, reserve.
What we just heard from Jim Jordan is the common sense message that the vast majority of Americans already understand. It is incredible that this even needs to be said on the floor of Congress, but here we are. When you enact dumb policies, as Jordan put it, you get predictable, bad results. And what was the dumbest policy we have seen pushed by the progressive left in the last few years? The dangerous, radical call to defund the police. Jordan laid out the receipts. He showed exactly what happened across our major urban areas in the span of a year and a half. These are not debatable feelings. These are facts, backed by budget numbers. We saw New York City slash $1 billion from its police department. We saw Chicago cut $80 million. Seattle pulled $69 million. Minneapolis, $8 million. And in every single case, without fail, crime went up. This isn't an accident. It's simple cause and effect. Yet, even as crime spiked and chaos took hold, the rhetoric from the left did not change. Jordan named names, and it is crucial that we remember them. You had Cori Bush, just a week ago, doubling down on the defund the police mantra, directly contradicting the president of her own party. You had Ilhan Omar calling to completely dismantle the Minneapolis Police Department. Representative Jayapal talking about shifting significant resources away from law enforcement. These individuals are not just detached from reality. They are actively championing a policy that makes our neighborhoods dangerous. They are choosing political ideology over the safety of the citizens they swore to protect. They want a world of reimagination, a word the left loves to use when they mean implementing reckless, untested, failed socialist concepts. But what do Americans want? As Jordan summarized perfectly, Americans want safe streets, they want affordable gas, and they want freedom. The solution is not some academic woke concept. The solution is what has worked for generations. We need more cops on the street, not fewer. We need to stop the revolving door of justice by electing prosecutors who will actually put criminals in jail. And we need to immediately reject dangerous legislative ideas like no money bail, acts that let violent offenders walk free hours after an arrest. The reimagination from the Democrats has been an absolute disaster on every single front. Crime, inflation, energy independence, the border. It's time to stop giving power to the radical wing of the progressive movement and start supporting common sense policies that put the safety of American families first. It is time to fully fund our police. We must make sure our voices are heard on this. Let me know your thoughts in the comments below. Which budget cut do you find the most shocking? And what do you think is the #1 thing we can do to stop this crime wave? And if you appreciate this kind of hard-hitting, fact-based commentary, please share this video with everyone you know. Thank you for watching, and God bless.